Hello once again, everybody. This is Rich with High Percent Trading. Thanks for joining us. Today's video, again, is going to analyze the pit opens that we've been following here at High Percent Trading. The pit opens in crude oil and the two equity markets, Nasdaq and Russell. And once again, all three of the pit opens here in these instruments were profitable again. This is the 33rd straight pit open session that's been profitable in these sessions. Let's take a look at crude oil first. Remember, our pit open session is starting at 6 a.m. Pacific. That's 9 a.m. Eastern. And if we look back, we've already had a series of long trade arrows for entries. Some of you are starting to trade crude oil earlier now than 6 a.m. And doing very well with this approach. We did have a major report today at 5:30 Pacific, and this was trading right after that, 2 minutes after that. A couple nice trades. But anyway, focusing in on our pit open, notice if we look back to the left, we've already had at least two arrows going up in the direction of the up trades. So following our two arrow rule, we cannot take this trade, which was a good trade here. But following our two arrow rule, no trade here. First trade then is to the short side, right here. A nice short trade entry here. And then followed by an add-on here. And this is what's called the second bite out of the apple. You have to take this trade. Trade number one, arrow number two, and then you got a scalp, but no runner. You take the second bite out of the apple on the runner. It came down, made a nice profit here. That's extremely important to your trading. You've heard us talk about this time and time again. We're going to ignore this next arrow because it is not a second bite out of the apple, nor is it it's more than two arrows. So moving on, what we have then is a long trade here that if you're going for a small scalp, you got your scalp but no runner. If you tried to take your second bite out of the apple trade, or in this case, it's the second arrow, long here, and basically you would have gotten stopped out. Here's your second bite out of the apple here, at least to recover some. But anyway, a little bit more difficult in here. Not nearly obviously as easy as it was trading over here. Over here you made some nice profits. Here a little scalp, and then here you ended up giving some back. All right, we're still within our window though. Remember, it's an hour window for crude oil. So our next trade is going to be a short trade. This trade went nowhere. Lost about 4 ticks to 5 ticks coming up. And then here's your second bite out of the apple, and or even the second octopus arrow off the accelerator. Accelerator taking the trade, moving all the way down. A great trade to the downside. This market broke down and eventually bottomed out right around the 40.70, 40.80 level. That was roughly about 40 ticks on a nice runner. Okay, so notice following the two arrow rule, we had two arrows here. This is 3, 4, 5. We're not really taking these at all. Don't take these. Doesn't mean they don't work. Some traders do, but again, we're just being consistent here in the live markets analysis room, being consistent with how we approach this every day. So all of these arrows were in contravention of the two arrow rule, and then that brings us to 7 a.m. When we're looking at trading a different method of trading. All right, so that's crude oil on the pit open session. Crude was profitable. Let's look at the Russell contract. That's easy for me to say, the Russell contract. All right, here's our TF, here's our Russell. Now remember, the pit open on Russell is 6:30 Pacific, that's 9:30 Eastern, and what we're looking at doing is we're running these set of momentum indicators signaling these trades, also known as the accelerator, in the first half hour after that pit open. We had no major report today at 7 a.m. Pacific or 10 Eastern. We had no major report, so we like to just run it the first half hour. If I look back, we had a short trade entry here off the arrow before the pit open. So in conformance with the two arrow rule, we're still good to go. Here was your first trade here, right around 6:34 Pacific. Came down, got a nice scalp. anywhere from 8 to 10 ticks on your scalp. If you put a stop for your runner right here, we came up, it got the runner, but again, to be a successful trader, this is what's called the second bite out of the apple. Take that trade off the reversal bar, you're back in on your runner, you got the very nice run to the downside. This market continued to go down, so you can see your entry right up in here, right around the 1153.40 level. This market continued to sell off all the way down to the 1148.30. That's roughly about 50 ticks on a runner. That's $500 on a runner if you've got it. And notice all of these trade entries here. All of these arrows were all arrows to the downside, but following the 2-arrow rule, we're not taking these trades. It doesn't mean they don't work, and some of you traders do take these, but again, we're consistent on what we follow, following the 2-arrow rule, and that brings us then over to right here. We're still within our time window. A nice long trade entry here. Now, if you had a tight stop on it, you'd have to get back in on the second bite out of the apple here. It depends on where your stop was. But if you had a very tight stop, you got to be back in it again one more time. And then as we moved up, we came up here at this trade level. This takes us right to 7 a.m. And actually, we switched over to what's called the breaks method of trading. That's what this is triggering right here. This is the breaks method. Actually, we showed today how if you were long down here, once you got up into these areas right here in what's called the phantom, you're taking profits, and then you're looking to go short off the trade signal. So again, very nice trade setups, very profitable session for Russell. Let's look at Nasdaq. All right, here's our Nasdaq scenario, and here's our pit open right here. This is the 630, 632. Today we showed how to trade this Band-Aid, but I'm not going to cover that in this video. This actually the Band-Aid method of trading was very profitable. But if we're looking at the accelerator method, and that's what we're looking at, if we look back at this time, we've already had 2 arrows in the same direction. So there are no short trades here using the 2-arrow rule. Our first trade was actually this trade right here at around 6:35 this morning, a long trade. Got a nice scalp, 10 to 12 ticks on a scalp, but no runner. Then it got short. Got another nice scalp, no runner. You got stopped out. Taking the next arrow, this would have been your entry here. Not enough for a scalp. Got you stopped out. Another re-entry here. Not enough. So this was a little bit discouraging because the market continued to head down and eventually present a good trade. However, in following the rules, hindsight is wonderful, but when you're live trading, you've got to trade what you see. So we had a nice long setup here for profit, nice short for scalp here, trade one, and then bite out of the apple. Neither one worked. Okay, so we gave some up there. But again, don't be discouraged. Trading is all about patience, discipline, and timing. So a little further over, we had our long trade here at around 644 for a scalp, a nice scalp. Here's your second trade here, another nice scalp and a runner, so 1 and 2. And we're still within our window. Short trade here. Did not really get enough for a scalp, and with your stop, you would have gotten stopped out. But then again, you re-entered the trade here. That was a nice trade coming all the way down, picking up a good 20 ticks here on a runner. And now notice what happened. This was trade entry 1. This was trade entry 2. When you see this, if you look back here, this is what? This trade actually is a second bite out of the apple. Now, it takes a little bit of seeing and doing this, but again, following the rules, trade number 1, arrow number 2, and then second bite out of the apple trade right here, short for a nice scalp and a nice 16 to 18 ticks. Still within our window period, right? It's not 7 a.m. yet. Flipping to long all the way up, and that brings us right here to 7 a.m. Good profit taking area. This trade right here was actually signaled now by the brakes. So this is not running the accelerator anymore, signaled by the brakes. But if you took that trade, that one got stopped out. And what we like to teach traders and tell traders is when you're nice and green and profitable and you've met your goals for the day, it's okay to take another trade beyond that. Cut it down to a single entry if you're a multiple contract entry, and keep taking the trade until you have a loser. So if you had met your goals out here, and you certainly should have, it's okay to take this one more or last trade, cut it down, get stopped out for about a 6-tick loss, and you're done. And that's it. That's trading the 3 pit open sessions again in the markets that we follow every day. That's 33 consecutive days in a row trading the pit open session of profitability on these markets. Again, for some of you who may not know or may be new, here's our website, the High% Trading website. These are all of our live markets analysis webinars. We'd love to have you come in and join us again this week. These are all the links. You just need to click on these links to come in. Also, if you have not had a free trial yet of this great method and great approach, just click on the free trial, just fill out a little information, and we'll get the free trial over to you. Okay. Our goal here is we want everybody to be profitable. We want everybody to trade for relatively short periods of time, make your profits, and be done. And I think if you've been following us, you can see that this has been consistently profitable day in, day out, following the rules, following the setups, not deviating or varying from anything. There's no could have, should have, would have, or hindsight involved here. These all unfold in real time live, and what you see is what it is. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope perhaps you learned something. Always try to take away at least one idea or one concept on any type of video or any type of training charts, diagrams, whatever's presented to you. It's always important to try to take at least something away positive. So thanks again for watching. Hope to see you all soon. Bye now.